everyone, you have reached my Flosstube channel, MJ Stitches 23, where I talk all about my cross-stitching projects. My name is Megan, and today is July 11th. Happy birthday, Dad! Sometimes he watches. 2026. It has been 3 weeks since my last video, and I have, this pile is literally like this high to show you of all this stuff. It's been 3 weeks because from my last video, I talked about having a wrist injury, and I took a week off, did the last video, and then I started stitching again, and kind of it flared up again, so I took another week off. You guys, it was awful. I really missed stitching. I really did. But I needed it because after that next week, then these last 2 weeks, I've been very productive with a lot of stitching, and it feels much, much better. So I'm glad I took that time because I didn't want it to get worse and have to deal with whatever that would entail. So to recap, because things have kind of changed now in the last 3 weeks since I did my last video, so I'm going to kind of try to catch you guys up. I have 25 total whips. From the last video, I have one finished to show you guys. I'm so excited about it. And I have 3 new starts. Okay, so for my starts, I know I talked last time about just started June. Well, because of my wrist injury and taking those 2 weeks off for my wrist, I only had one start in June. So didn't really get that far with that goal, but I'm going to kind of continue it into July. So we're going to do just start it July because I have all these new starts and I want to do it. And so it just makes sense to do it to the summer. So 3 new starts so far. I have plenty more planned on my videos coming up and to start. So I guess we can call it, just kidding June and just started July. That's it is what it is, right? Things get in the way. Some people, I've seen a lot of you guys doing the Christmas in July. I love watching your stuff. It's just not for me. I don't want to stitch Christmas things in the summer. Summer is my favorite time of the year. Favorite time of the year. I love it. I love beach stitching. I love just all the summer patterns. So for me, I like Christmas stitching, just not during the summer. So I'll still have Christmas patterns, and I like watching your guys', for those of you that have Flosstubes, if you're stitching on Christmas stuff, more power to you. I love seeing it. I just don't personally want to take my summertime to stitch on Christmas things. So I think that will make sense for me to do the just started July and continue that on. Okay, so last year, I believe it was my Flosstube episode 5, I believe. This is episode 21, by the way. So we're almost, I think I'm 11 months into my first year of Flosstube and just about almost a year and a half of stitching total. So that's kind of, some exciting, I don't know, facts that you probably don't need, but anyway. So last year I did the beach video, and I did this in Michigan City, Indiana at the dunes. Had a great time. This year I have a little clip for you from there. I didn't do a full Flosstube. We did this kind of last minute trip over the 4th, and the purpose of the trip was to spread my son's ashes. For those of you guys that have been watching, you guys know that my son, I gave birth to my son this February, and he passed 2 hours later. My only son. So it's been very hard for my husband and I. We've been doing the best we can. We're trying to find little small joys. Stitching, obviously, for me is one of them. But yeah, this has kind of been what's going on in life. So it was really good to take this trip. This is where I grew up, and I have a lot of memories there. I have my grandparents are not with us right now, but they're there. So I just am excited that he's there with them. And when we go visit, they'll always be there. And you know, if my son would have lived, I definitely would have brought him there, of course, to check out the beach and the sights and take him to all the local joints. So I feel like I kind of have done that in a way to the best of my ability. So that trip, anyway, sorry, this is getting into a little much, but that's kind of where the last week was, and that's why I didn't completely film a full Flosstube from the beach. It just wasn't the right time, but I did give you guys a little fun clip of stitching that I did on the beach. So I'll show you that here once I get to my finish. And I will, of course, attach photos at the end of our trip. We were there for about a week, which was just wonderful. Okay. Enough life talk. That's about 6 minutes in. So now you guys, really what you are here for is the stitching. So I'm going to start off right away with my finish. It is called Sea, Sand, and Stitching, which of course I had to bring this to finish at the beach. That was part of my goal too, was to have a beach finish of a beach piece stitching at the beach. So I accomplished that. I was really excited. This one is by Lindsay Waite at Primrose Cottage. I stitched this on 28 count Lugana Mocha. It's called Mocha Swirl. And I started this on my birthday this year, March 21st. And I finished it on July 3rd. So here is my finish. Ta-da! All right, I'll show it to you again, but I'm gonna, I really want my beach self to share it with you. So I'll insert that here. Hi friends, this is Megan. I am at Michigan City, Indiana at the beach, and I just had a beach finish. I wanted to share. This is, I guess I'll kind of get it in the light here. Beach, sand, and stitching. And I did finish stitching it on the beach. Now I'm gonna go for a swim in the lake. Yay! Okay, so you should have seen my cute little silliness in my video. But yeah, so here it is again. And I absolutely love this. I did make one change. The photo, did I grab that? It's right here. Calls for, I used all the Call for floss. The photo calls for some scissors to be here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I first saw this, I could not figure out what this is. I know now that it's the universal sign for scissors and cross stitch, but I couldn't do it. So instead I put, I decided to bring back the red, some of the red from the crab, and I put it in a little heart. And I thought, you know what, that's perfect because it kind of reminds me that my love, one of the loves of my life, my son, is there at the beach. So I just thought, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'd love to turn this into the pillow that it kind of, that the picture shows, something like this. I haven't done an FFO with a pillow, so not sure this is the right one to start with, but you know what, we gotta try things, right? Otherwise I'm just never gonna get anything fully finished. So proud of that, really excited. I think it turned out great. And I also stitched this on the beach here in Washington. So I have Michigan City, Indiana beach stitching here and stitching from Washington in this piece, which is great. Yeah, it really did. It gave us some peace. My husband and I were there, my dad was there, and we didn't see anybody else. I didn't meet up with anybody. It wasn't the right trip for that. So that'll have to happen next time. But yeah, this is my very, very, very proud of that. Okay, so that was in this project bag that I made for myself. This is the first one I've ever made. So not my best work, but it's freaking adorable. I love it. So what's gonna go now in this project bag? Well, you can see that it's like beachy, summery. And I think I've talked to you guys about this one, but you didn't see my start. So this is gonna be a new start for you guys. It's called, let me think about this, hold up. Yes, it's called, no, this is all wrong, hold on. It wasn't in this project bag. Hopefully I can cut that out. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure how that's all gonna fit. But it was actually in, hang on, we'll get to that one. I just mixed them up. It was in this project bag. C-stand and stitching. This is the one that I made for that. And it's because this fabric was from my grandma. This is from the pillows that were there at Michigan City when we used to own our lake house. So very meaningful project bag. I was wondering why that bag, yeah, anyway. Okay. Got a little mixed up. But so what's in this one? This, don't worry, this was also a new start. So you're gonna get to see them both in this episode. So one of the new starts, I don't think you guys have actually seen this one yet at all. Maybe I can't remember if I showed this in the last video or not. I might have. It's been so long. I know I've missed you guys. I just don't remember. Okay, so it's called Love the Beach Life. By Ursula Michael, and I started this also on July 3rd. So finished one, went right into another. This is stitched on 27 count even weave Bestitched Me, of Bestitched Me fabric. It's called a Watermelon Slushy, and it was the fabric of the month club from last July, 2025. So, this, okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit. This is the fabric. I love this fabric. Love, love, love. And that is my start. Ta-da! So, not very much, but definitely counts as a start. And so I started up here on the L. So, let's talk about this here for a second. I'm gonna try to hold it like this. Oh, that works. Okay, I love that this sunsetty color is the same as this background, which I think is pretty much the same as this watermelon slushy fabric. I understand that it's on a white background, so it's gonna look a little different here, but I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of outlining it in this navy color, I'm gonna outline it in white to make it pop on this fabric. I just really want to do that. I think it's gonna look good, guys. Because I want the fabric to show through the words, and I think if I do it in white, I might make it, whatever. Maybe it's a terrible idea, but I think it's gonna work. So the only thing that I might have to change, you know how sometimes like this doesn't quite match that. It's just, this looks a little bit lighter than this, but I double checked and it is the right color. So once I pull the thread for the sunset color, I might have to switch it to pick a color floss that's a little bit more like this fabric that I can see in person. But I don't have to worry about that just yet, because something else I'm going to talk about later in this video. Which is floss and floss drops. So we'll get there. Okay, so now let's talk about another new start. Guys, I got a lot of new starts. Yay. This one, I'll see if Jeremiah can guess. So Jeremiah needs to come over here. Jeremiah is on Katie's channel, Jeremiah's mom. Obviously, he's her son, and I get such a kick out of his little appearances on her channel. So this one, I've stolen the idea. I shouldn't say stolen. I got inspiration from Katie. She stitched this last year, and I loved, Katie, I loved watching you stitch this. It inspired me so much that I bought it myself, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to start it, and I did. Have you guys guessed what it is yet? I actually think I've talked about it on my Flosstube channel before, so you guys, actually, my viewers might know too. I'll give you another hint. I started on the 4th of July, on Independence Day, on America's 250th birthday. Okay, if you haven't guessed it by now, you're gonna be like, oh, once I pull it up. So for all of those dates, I started this one, Colorful Eagle. Katie has this now fully finished in the back of her videos. So if you watch her, she picked out a gorgeous frame. She did all this. This is all in gold, and then she did like a blue part of a frame here and then red on this side. It's just very patriotic, and it is amazing. So I started this one. This is by Pamela Kellogg of Kitty and Me Designs, and I'm stitching this on 14 count Aida. I found a it's a white Aida, but has silver sparkles in it, so I feel like it's perfect for this. And I think it's of Fabric Flare. So again, not too big of a start, but there we are. Let's see if you can see. There you go. So that part right there is right on top of his, let's see if I can show you her the same. Yeah, right here, right on top of his beak. So very excited for this 250th project that I started on July 4th. And I'm really excited to get this done, but I wanted to wait and save this for that big day. So that one will be a fun stitch also, especially since I've been waiting so long. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can kind of see, I don't know if lighting, the sparkles on the fabric. Can you, let's see, can I get any of them? A little bit up here. Well, you just have to imagine that kind of glittering throughout. It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun fabric. I almost didn't even notice it until when you have to kind of like move your face and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Okay. Next is Bluebird Nest. I pulled this out for one of the challenges, the games I play, which I will talk about. But I haven't pulled this out for a while, and I decided it went so well with the challenge, and it's more now, well, just a few, so more into summery, spring into summer, and I'm like, you know what, the birds are out. I love this season. I love listening to the birds, so I think I can do this piece. I put this away after, after giving birth to my son. So this one's called Bluebird Nest. It's by Elizabeth Spurlock of Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. It is in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, spring of 2020. Okay, hold on guys. I have it to the page. There it is. So this is the magazine that it's in. And this is what it's going to look like at the end. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida that I hand dyed in my garden, a light blue color. And I started this for Robin's birthday in August, on August 7th. She's Bird's Eye Stitches here on Flosstube. And I was excited to pull it back out. So here's where I am now. So I started a little bit on the nest here, and then I've kept going with the baby bird. And all of these colors, I shouldn't say all of them. These colors are the DMC it calls for. most everything else is floss that I've picked in stash and just kind of, it's not, I don't think any of it hardly is DMC. Most of it is just things that I've grabbed from wonderful human beings that come to the retreats and donate floss. So, or are trying to get rid of floss. And I'm like, yes, I will take it. I need all the things. So, really liking where this one's going. And it doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't constrict my chest as much or my heart as it did when everything kind of happened earlier this year. So I think I'm okay now to start working on this one. There's another one still that I'm not touching, but this one I think is okay to bring out. So that's probably a good thing. Okay, next is Books Are Magic by Counting Puddles. I know a lot of you guys are doing Counting Puddles patterns, and so I'm kind of excited to see that there are so many of them, because I hadn't really heard of Counting Puddles until I found this little pattern. So this one, this is what it looks like. This one I'm stitching on a 14 count Aida. It's dark teal that I got on a D-Stash group. And I started this May 25th of this year for Mental Health Mondays in May. I love reading. Just in case you didn't know. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on my channel before, but I'm a very big reader. I love romantasy. I love fantasy, fiction, romance, some mysteries, and psychological thrillers are pretty much there's a few historical fictions that I like, and I branch out a little bit, but those are my main ones that I love. And here is where we are. So most of this, it doesn't look like a lot of work, but that was a lot. It really was. So this is like the magic so far. It looks like it's part of the book, but it's not. It's right on top of the book, the first book, and it's all of the, so this area here is where I worked, I think. No, sorry, other side. I can't see in the video. Here, this side. This is the side that I worked on since you guys saw it last. And it is these like, I guess it's like the pages. It's just not the actual book right here. So it's like the pages starting to bring out the flowers and the magic from the books. So that one I think is going to be just a really fun stitch to kind of keep doing through the winter. I'm part of 2 book clubs, and I know I don't always make every single meeting in the summer, but winter I make them consistently. I just have too much going on in the summer. My garden and the beach and, you know, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so now next on my list is another new start. Yay! This one is from Pam. Hi, Pam. She's one of the viewers on my channel, lives in Australia. And this is now in this project bag that I was, well, I showed you before. I might have cut it out. I don't, who knows? But this is the project bag that it is in. And Pam, are you wondering which one I started? Can you tell? I bet you can guess from the theme of this video. But if you can't, I started the More Beach bonus design. So this is what one of the patterns that Pam gave me as some stitchy kindness. And I love both of them, but I decided to start this one because I did all of the stitching this last week when I was in Indiana. So let's see if you can kind of see. So it says less Mondays, more beach. I just love that. More beach. I'm always about more beach time. So, I'll show you where I am. Let's see. Facts. Almost forgot about the facts. So this is stitched by Kathy of Stitched, designed. Well, I don't know. Designed by Kathy of Hands-On Designs. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Aida. It's a fabric from Bestitch Me. It's called Neptune, and it was the December Fabric of the Month Club from last year, so 2025. And here is where I am. So I've got the entire top portion done. Less Mondays, cute little sand dollar, the seagulls. Oh, I still need to do his legs. His legs will go down into the water. And then I love all these adorable fish. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Oh, sorry guys, that's a little blurry, but there's like a back stitch at the top and a back stitch down here. And then this eye goes in the middle of these orange stitches. So I'm actually really glad that I'm using this soft fabric because it's a lot easier to get the needle in between the holes, if that makes sense. Probably would be really easy like on a even weave or Lugana, but this specific Aida fabric was okay to do with that, so I'm very happy with where that is. Thanks, Pam. Okay, the next one, is one you haven't seen in a while, in a long time. Actually, yeah, very long time. This one is called Brambling Hill. It's by the Artsy Housewife, and I got this pattern at the retreat last year at the Acorns and Threads cross stitch retreat in Oregon. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if it has been released yet. It should be coming out this fall if it hasn't been released yet. So here it is. I love this border. From on the camera, it just doesn't do it justice, but it's beautiful. I've had, I think the first time you guys saw this was when this was about now 9 months ago. Yeah, 9 months ago that you guys, I think, last saw this. So it's been a while. And I remember that I was complaining a lot about my ability or non-ability, my difficulties with stitching on this fabric. So this is on a 36 count gray by Weeks Dye Works. And is that right? Did I write that down right? I have to check. Okay, let me go back and check those facts before we commit to that. But I stitched and restitched the first portion of this when I first did it like a million times because I just couldn't see what I was doing. But now I've gotten the hang of it because I've done some more stitching on Lugana. So here's where I am now. So since you guys have seen it last, it doesn't look like I did a lot, but I really did. I carried this over, filled in these, filled in this, did all of this, did the entire like window box there, and then came down and started working down here. It's evening, so I guess the lighting is feeling a little bit off, but I love how it's looking. It's difficult still for me to stitch because it's so small for me. You guys that do 40 count and whatever, this is probably a cinch to you. But so I really need to make sure that my lighting is good when I stitch on this. I don't have one of those bright lights. I see a lot of you guys using those at retreats. I bet this would work really well under those. It's just not in my, it's not part of my stash yet. So I think this is right now is as small as I would go for something. I don't have a magnifying glass. I don't have a light, but I really, really enjoy the colors and where this one's going. But this one is going to be around for a while. So if you want to see this one done, hit that subscribe button because it won't be finished by the next Flosstube, let me tell you. It's a beautiful, beautiful bigger project. Okay, my next piece I'm going to talk about is Nature's Journey by Katarina Holin of Sprouting Lupine. And I'm stitching this out of the Just Cross Stitch magazines from 2025. So it's a 4-part series, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I'm currently working on the summer part. The spring I mostly have finished, except for one motif that you're gonna hear me say this, and every time I show this project, I'm still working on it. I currently have, well, I guess, okay, this goes into a little bit of plans, but I currently have the program Wind Stitch, so I'm working on, because I love Pattern Keeper, so I'm working on kitting up a few of my kits, or not kitting up, charting out a few of my charts in that. And one of the things I want to do is put an iris in there. So it's on the list. It's just, I'm still learning about the program and trying to charting for now is great. So, this is the magazine for the summer issue of last year. And here is where I am. I am stitching this on Aida 16 count, and I hand dyed this in my garden. And I started this May of last year. And since you guys have seen it last, I can't remember if you've seen this. This is all finished, so I can't remember if you guys have seen that or not fully finished, but I did the frog. Look at my little frog. He's adorable. I think he's so cute. So really, really excited. I think I did talk about this because I need to bump an extra stitch in here somewhere because I don't know, I made a mistake somewhere. So I just need to add an extra line to make sure that everything will line up because I'm going to sew them all like quilts. So the spring piece will go here, then there's this one, and then fall and winter, they're all going to be stitched on different colors of Aida that I hand dye, and I'm going to stitch it together like a quilt. So another longer project, but I really, really love this. Also, for those of you that really love Sprouting Lupine, I said she, I don't know why I think yes, it is Katarina. Yeah, okay. She just posted, maybe a bit ago, I just found out about it. She's going to start a sal called Evergreen. It's a pinned insect sal. She's really big on the moths, which you guys will see a big moth down here. It's starting July 30th. You can purchase the pattern on Etsy, and it's a 7-month stitch along where she's going to do 2 releases about every month, so it's going to be 14 parts. So I guess I'm assuming that, but it's 14 parts, so I'm assuming that's about 2 a month for 7 months. So I'm really excited. I signed up. If you guys follow her on social media, she has just posted her first hint of like what it's going to look like. I like a lot of her stuff. I even have a few more of her patterns. So I don't really care what it looks like. I think it's going to be amazing. So if you're interested in joining me and you want to check her out on Etsy, Sprouting Lupine, it's gonna be really fun. And July 30th is the first release. So I have to get this finished, guys, because well, and then I have to start fall and winter. So this might kind of be turn into like a seasonal stitch. We'll see. Which makes sense because all I have left to do is the fall and the winter, and then I've got that last little part of the spring left. So that just might have to follow the seasons with how I'm finishing this project. And then all of the magazines and everything is kitted up in this project bag that I made. All the gardening for spring and summer. And it's probably going to stay that way for fall and winter because I just know that that's what this bag is. I guess I really didn't think that through all the way, but I was just so excited to start the spring and the summer portion that I love this. So that's probably where it's going to stay for now. Sorry, you guys, if I keep going like this, it's because it is hot here in Washington. And I turned my AC off, our unit, because it's just too loud for the video. So we'll turn it back on as soon as I'm done. But if you keep seeing me like fan myself, it's hot. I'm doing this, and this is another reason why I'm doing this in the evening, because it's just too hot to put the AC on, or to turn off the AC during the day right now. So, okay. The next one I want to talk about is my Animal Crossing piece called Animal Crossing Home. And I did a lot of work on this. You guys have seen it last. I feel like it's a lot of work. I was pretty excited about it. Hang on, I just got it all tangled. Put that back. Okay. And here is where we are. So this is where we are. I did a whole bunch of stitching with the house and the part of this frame. This is, if you can kind of see, this whole thing is going to be a leaf. So all of the design is going to be inside the leaf. This is a video game that I love playing now and growing up, and it's called Animal Crossing. This I'm stitching on 14 count Ada. I started this on May 4th of this year, and I found this on Etsy. Artist's name is Tatiana of White Raven Patterns Shop in France. Absolutely love this. This one's definitely an easier stitch, and it's a great travel piece as well. Just for fun. I just love that. It's just, don't ask me what I'm going to do with that when I'm done, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and then I have Italian Blessing. So I believe this is the oldest whip I now have. That I still have to work. That's a whip that I'm still working on. So this is what the pattern looks like. The author is Diane Authors. The author. Can you tell I read too fast? The artist is Diane Authors of Imaginating. This was a 2009 project. I wrote the date on that. I don't usually always write the dates, but there you go. There's some more info for you. Stitching this on the fabric that it came with, a 14 count Ada. It's a tan color. And I started this in March of last year. Yeah, so this is my oldest whip so far. And I love having it in this Q snap. It's nice and big. And so this is what we did. We filled in this leaf and put in a couple of the grapes. And then I finished up some of the back stitching up in this swirl. So this one I'm experimenting with. I'm back stitching it as I stitch. So next I'm going to work more on these grapes down here, and then once I kind of complete all around this leaf, then I will backstitch the leaf. Just trying to figure out what works best for me. I know some of you guys stitch all of the stitching first and then you do the back stitching. I know some of you complain about back stitching, and so I just feel like if I do all this and then I don't like back stitching, there's a lot of back stitching in this, or so I just feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it as I go. There's no hurry for this piece. So this one's probably gonna be around for a while too. So I think I'm liking that, because I think then once I'm gonna be done with this, it's gonna be done. And I think I'm just more motivated to work on it that way than to stitch everything and then grind out all the back stitching later for this piece in particular. So far I'm liking that process for that piece. Whew, are you guys still with me? Okay. That is all of the stitching that I have for you. I have, so I'll take a short little break here to tell you kind of what's coming up next, to see if you want to stick around or not. So next I'm going to talk about plans and my stickers. Then I'm going to talk about haul. I did do a giveaway last, I posted up a giveaway last Flosstube. So check that out. Comment on that Flosstube about the giveaways, and then I will announce the winners my next Flosstube. Because I told you guys I'd give you these 2 episodes to watch, so you've had an extra 3 weeks. So you'll have this extra week or 2 depending on when I film next, and then we'll do that. Okay, so I won't talk about that because I just did. So we'll do plans and stickers next, haul, and then floss drops. So another stitching related thing I've been working on a lot. I'm gonna kind of share with you guys, but it's not actual stitching. It just has to do with the cross stitching world. And then we will tie it up with a nice bow and turn the AC back on. Okay. So plans and stickers. Plans. I would love to do a mid-year whip parade. I know a lot of you guys like to do that right now. I might try it. My 1-year anniversary is coming up here on YouTube, I believe at the end of this month. So I'm trying to decide if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing. I have 25 whips, so I could do that, or I could wait until the new year starts and do the whip parade then. So I was thinking about kind of doing it as my, like 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and it's my mid-year whip parade. So let me know if you're interested in that. Some of you guys, I think, like whip parades. Some of you don't. I'm not sure how you guys feel about the whip parade. So let me know. But regardless, I'll still keep on filming the floss tubes because I like doing this. So for July and June plans. So I guess, yeah, let's start with my June plans. So we kind of already talked about what happened in June. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys what happened. Here was my spreadsheet. And these are the stickers that I earned. So this was my Stitch and Seek for July when I played a game of Whip Warriors on Facebook. And you get 10 prompts. So I only did 7 out of the 10 prompts. So I got 7 star stickers. So I didn't get a big sticker because I didn't finish it. Wrist injury, it is what it is. Then the June bug in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge on Facebook was to work on Nature's Journey, 700 stitches there. I did I did 400 stitches. Again, wrist injury. So Hey, I tried, but you know what? Sometimes we just have to care for ourselves. And then with the acrostic for Magazine Monthly Acrostic Challenge, the theme was croissant, the acrostic was France, and I got 3 items done. I did A for Americana Heart, which was the finish. I showed you that before. Nature's Journey, I did stitch on. Oh, that should be 4 times because I had 4. Oh no, that's fine. I had 400 stitches, but I only stitched 2 days. And then the crown, C for crown for Italian Blessing. I stitched on that once, which is what I just showed you. So no big earn stickers for that month. My stats for that month, you guys are gonna laugh, was, so the entire month I stitched 2,421 stitches, which is pitiful for me. That's even less, I think, that's less than half. I think I don't even know how to say that, but the next lowest that I think I have is like over 5,000. So yeah, it's just injury, you know? So I stitched 11 out of the 30 days total. And I worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whips in June. Okay, so 4 stickers that I earned. So we just talked about that, but now my virtual stickers for Whip Warriors. Here's my sticker page. So you guys have seen this all in my previous Flosstubes. I get stickers because I earn threads. I give the stickers to myself. So for this one for Whip Warriors, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how I can see. For June, I got a finish. You guys saw that before, so I give myself an all-star. Whip Words, I earned 1 sticker. That was for the bee. And Stitch and Seek, I only did 7 out of the 10 prompts, so I earned 2 stickers out of the 4 and a button. No button for me. So I got 2 stickers there. And then for July, I already have my finish, my beach finish, C-Sand Stitching. So I put a little lake perch sticker in there. And then I'm currently working on this July's Stitch and Seek, which you'll see here in a minute. We're gonna quickly snap over to WhipGo. Here's my WhipGo board. So I have completed this noon start, number 12, which was a call for June. I did my new start. I was counting as more beach bonus. And I put a little lake perch sticker on there, a little fish. I'm calling it a lake perch. I don't know if that's what it really is, but for Michigan City. So that just reminds me of my new start in Michigan, starts, I should say plural, in Michigan City. And then my other call for June is Nature's Journey. So I stitched at least 2 days on that. So I got a little flower sticker for the summer. I'm still have to finish up May's Sal that it has finished. This one I'm currently charting on WinStitch. So it's going to take a while for me to finish charting that. And I don't want to continue on this until that happens. So that one's on pause. But in the meantime, if you guys can kind of see my highlights, this makes a bingo, my first bingo. So once I finish my July stitching, I will have a bingo. So calls for July were 9 and 17. 9 is husband's choice. If you've been watching my Flosstube, you probably already know which one that's going to be. It's a very, very big one, my biggest one that I've been working on. 200,000 stitches. So if you're new, stay tuned because that one will get some work later and you'll get to see one of my big full coverage pieces. And then 17 is called Loyalty. Or I mean, the theme there is loyalty. So once I pick a whip to work on, I need 2 days to get my sticker for that piece. And then I will have a bingo! Yay! Okay. And then on to plans. Here is my spread for July. Of course, that's all Independence Day, 4th of July, however you want to call it, theme. So we'll just start on this side first. This is my Whip Warriors Stitch and Seek because I've already earned some stickers. So here is the 10 prompts, and I have earned stickers on 3 of them so far. So the first one is I. These are things that you have to either find in your whips or in the world. So I stitched 513 stitches on Moore Beach. So I got to start for that. Blue, you have to have at least 100 stitches in that whip. So I did Love the Beach Life, which you guys have seen. That was the one on the watermelon slushy, just basically blue stitching on there. So I got to start for that. That was 213 stitches. And then painting, I used Nature's Journey, the summer portion for that, and I stitched 258 stitches there. I've already selected some of the more projects for these extra prompts, and I'm struggling to find things for Peacock, Chandelier, and Castle. So still on the hunt for those. Switching Facebook groups to July's Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. The theme of that month is Southern. I'm trying to read these backwards. And the acrostic is Cajun. So here's how I fit the theme. Southern. I did my sea, sand, and stitching, which I got a finish on at the beach. And I use that for Southern because it's on one of the southern tip of Lake Michigan. That is where I finished this. And it just meant a lot to me to do that in Michigan City at that beach. So that is my cross that off for my theme. The acrostic, I'm using C for Colorful Eagle. So I stitched on that already. A for Asteria. That's of Avlia, Krista West. So I'll be working on that one. J is for Japanese Teapot. So I'm going to get some stitching on that one done. And then U is for Ursula Michael. She's the artist of Love the Beach Life. So I got a sticker because I completed that one. There's my stickers. And then N, which is my magazine piece. Because this is, group was started for stitching pieces out of magazines. Which when I started stitching, I didn't even know that was such a thing. So now, of course, I have gotten a subscription to Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I always try to use at least one magazine piece in these prompts. So that's for Nature's Journey and the summer, which I, finished the frog. So I got a little, put a green for can you tell it's green? It kind of looks yellow, but it really is green. And I just realized I didn't put a mark down for a day. I don't know. I think I was using this here and I crossed it off. So there we go. That's my mark for, I got work on it 1 day so far. Okay, so those are my monthly plans. New starts, you're just going to kind of see them as they come. I plan to have new starts for each episode. So far in July. And if you watched my last episode, you'll see some of the ones I've been thinking of. So those are, I'm pretty sure some of those you're gonna see those here shortly. Okay, so that was, and then the plans I talked about, the Sprouting Lupine Sal Evergreen, that I signed up to do that too. Okay, haul and then floss drops. Haul, I have 2 hauls. Get it? Yes, 2 hauls. Okay, one is laughable. You guys are gonna die. I joined Fabric of the Month Club of Bestitch Me last year, and I loved it. I got tons of fabric from them, and I did at the beginning of this year quit the subscription for a little bit because I have a lot of fabric now, and just to save a little bit of money. So I'm sure I'm going to join up again. I just needed a little break. So I got in the mail yesterday the January fabric of the month called One More Reproduction. And I started laughing because you guys, okay, here it is. It's beautiful, right? It's, I mean, we can definitely all use some more, neutrals in our life. Just take this out. So it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. I'm laughing because I don't know how I haven't received it to now. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have anything to do with the company. I'm pretty sure it was in someone else's mailbox. Our mailbox kind of got, they were redoing it for a while. We had, for like 6 months, we had to go pick up our mail at the post office weekly because they wouldn't deliver it here because they were fixing the box. So I'm pretty sure this has been sitting in somebody's mailbox the entire time. And I didn't even realize that I had paid for it. So I didn't even reach out to Bestitch Me to say, hey, you haven't shipped me my fabric because that happened. And then my son was born in February and everything just didn't turn out the way I expected. So the fact that it says one more reproduction, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just skip forward. But needless to say, if I had gotten this in February or March, I probably would have lost it. I find it more funny to get it now. So just gonna leave it at that. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're not missing anything. It's just, anyway. So that's going in stash for now, because just with the name, I'm not sure I can stitch on that anytime soon. Yeah. I also got the Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine. So very excited. I think I told you guys I re-upped my prescription, my subscription for this. So for 2 more years. I know Carolyn Zook does a really good flip through of this. So if you're interested, you can sneak on over. She probably released it today, well, of me filming, so maybe a few days ago. But yeah, there's some cutesy patterns in here that I am going to tag and then stitch later for Halloween. Yay! Okay, floss drops and plans for organizing. So Katie, Jeremiah's mom, has this amazing video of how she makes floss drops. I'm going to insert a picture here of the materials that she used because I may or may not have gone onto Amazon and found some and bought them to make some floss drops. She sells them too. She uses cards and she uses just all kinds of different cool materials, recycled materials. So they're called, she coined the term trashy floss drops. I love it because it's all trash, but you're using it to recycle. You're using recycled material. You're recycling your own material to create less waste. And I think she is brilliant for figuring out how to do that. So go over to her channel. There's you can make them yourself, and if you don't want to, I'm sure she would make you some for a wonderfully budget-friendly price. So check her out. I actually watched that video and then was like, I have to do this because I am reorganizing my entire cross-stitch system. I have boxes where I keep my floss drops and I wind them on bobbins. And then when I have a project, we'll just show you something like this. I just put all of them in here. The problem with that system is that then I take all that floss out of my like master set, and then when I need that color again, I like don't have it. And so it's putting a lot of my projects on hold because I don't have a lot of extra floss in stash, and starting so many projects, buying all that extra floss, it gets expensive after a while. And sometimes the projects that you start or that I start need all the floss. Sometimes they only need like a couple strands. They don't need the whole bobbin. So what I'm currently doing now is I'm going through all my projects. So for instance, we're gonna take this one. I haven't stitched on this yet, so I won't show you the project in here, but this is Mystic Dragon that I will be working on in the future. And so I put all of these now on floss drops. So they're, like for instance, here's one. This is beautiful. This was from a card that I got in the mail, and now I just have some floss on it, and then on the back I write down the number. The cool thing about this project is it's on Pattern Keeper, so I don't need a symbol, but otherwise I would just put the symbol on here so that when I see the symbol, then I will go from symbol to symbol and don't even need to worry about the numbers. And then when I'm done with it, I'll just cross it off and do something else. But yeah, so all of these are, you know, from that or from like, I mean, let's see, here's another, you know, this one's like from a pasta box, another pasta box, a card, another card. I mean, they're just really, they're cool, and otherwise you would have just thrown them all away. So anyway, check that out. That is something that I am working on, doing that with all of my projects now. So I'm putting all of my floss back into my kit so that when I'm doing all these new starts for July, I have more floss to pull from. And yeah, it's making my life so much easier. I feel a lot more organized. The other thing that I will be working on is that as you saw, okay, look at this. Doesn't this look nice? Very organized. It's wonderful. This, oh my gosh, I can't stand how many of these bags I have. They're it's a mess. So I need to get on making some more project bags for myself, because I'm tired of my Ziplocs. I don't mind putting the floss in the Ziplocs and then putting them in here so much, but with my floss drops, I don't think I really need to. Anyway, I'm trying to minimize and get rid of a lot of the bags that I have. So very excited. I will be stitching up a whole bunch more. I got some new fabric. We'll be stitching up a bunch more of these bags over the next, we'll say couple of weeks. I don't know. Those take me a while. So anyway, but yeah, so that is my plans for stitching related items that have to do with cross stitch. Wow, you guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm really happy that I'm back to see you guys. If you've got this far, leave me a beach emoji. How about that? I love the beach. Yeah, we need a beach emoji for this one. If you don't have anything to comment, if you want to comment. And if you're like, oh, no, just saying that you were here and you want to just stop by, just leave me a beach emoji just so that I know. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about a whip parade. I know some of them dropped earlier. I don't know if you guys are tired of whip parades. Just let me know. So I will end it here with be nice to yourself because you are deserving of it. And stay tuned if you want to see some pictures from the trip. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.